Hey, gang. Lady Hippy at the bar. I believe I was entertaining a bit ago. I may edit it, I may not. And I threw it into edit mode and it wanted to do something else. We're having a lot of storms here. And I have my television on. And again, they were talking about this mess. And they are behind the students. And I'm done talking with it. I'm done. I have to ignore it from now on because it's just making me crazy that this is happening. And it should be happening in any country, but it's happening in particular in my country. And we've just paid for their free education as well. So, we veterans didn't get anything free ever. Most of them lost their lives, so we could be free. I don't know how good that was at this point. Faculty, teachers, whatever you call yourselves. Yeah, what? Out there getting arrested with the dumbasses. Where was any authoritative figures to say you can't do this, don't do this? It took an entire hall. The police had to bring in a tank with a ladder. I've never seen a tank with a ladder, did not know the police had one, but it was interesting. They finally got him out of the hall. While teachers and faculty members are being hauled off to the hoosgown and saying, well, we just was walking by. Yeah, sure, lady. We all believe that shit. It's beyond apologizing. It's embarrassing as hell. These people lost 1,500 men, women, children horrifically, so much so that 80% of the footage has not been shown to the world because it's so horrific, and I won't go over it here. You parents need to sit your kids down in front of your stupid little computers and use their one brain cell and show them the truth. Show them a reel from 1939 in black and white. That's what they're doing. What do the Jews do next before they come to school? They put a yellow star on. Anybody got cattle cars ready? Because that's what you're doing. And you got an opinion, and you have a right to it. But you don't have a right to do hate speech. You don't have a right to take over a campus. You don't have the right to terrorize anybody in my country, ever. That's not included in the free speech. I'm sorry. Look it up. You don't like it here? Go back to Palestine and fix it there. It's not our country to fix. It's yours. Now, maybe if they weren't sending 350 missiles a night into Israel, which is this big, like the size of Maine, from countries that are the size of Canada, then maybe the Israelis wouldn't be still at war. It's not what they wanted, and they're at war on three fronts. This big. They are on the map. This big. And still, you're slapping them down from what? How many more go before they're all dead? Huh? Is that what your aim is? Make sure they're all dead? Get out of my country. And if you're an American, go somewhere else. And take your damn parents with you. And I may not edit the other one. I did it as a live stream too. Let's see if they take that down. Cowards. I did find the cat smoking my cheroot. Their problem is I'm going to be here all week. I don't believe in lies. I don't believe in all this. You can put lipstick on a pig. That bitch is still a pig. Okay? Now, they can sugarcoat this shit all they want to on CNN. But those of us with more than a brain cell are going to go, what the hell are you doing anyway? You're a political show that's no good as it is. You've been lying for, 10 years almost about just Hunter Biden's laptop. Or like little Miss Hillary Clinton, Secretary of State. It was okay if 4 people died in Benghazi. She halted those who were ready to go in. They kept wanting to go in, wanting. Finally, a civilian Black Ops went in to retrieve the bodies because they were already dead and they knew it. And she's up there going, what difference does it make? Well, the difference basically, cupcake, is you should be in jail, confiscated all your money, and sent back to the ones you stole it from. Ask Monica Lewinsky how good that went for her. No, I got no respect for none of you. No. If there's somebody in any office, besides any office, the president as well, you get 2 terms. If that's 2 years and then another 2 years, okay, that's great. You would not be allowed to send faith gifts to me so I can run and do what you want me to do and you make $40 million commercials. No, you should not be allowed to solicit any money. It should be all your own. No money. Do you know Abraham Lincoln, when he won the presidency, had to borrow $3 so he could take the train from Illinois to Washington, D.C.? He had a suitcase that his parents had used for 50 years that you had to tie twine around to shut. He had 2 suits. One he was wearing. President. Trump was president, never took a dime of salary. Nobody worries about that shit. Huh? That's not cool. Let's sue him. Let's impeach. Rude as shit. Did everything but throw a shoe at him. Ugly. I was embarrassed the entire 4 years for America because of what these reporters were allowed to do. They wouldn't have been allowed to do that if I was press secretary, let alone the president. And I have served and worked in D.C. I'd have had them removed by my Secret Service, charged, and released somewhere outside the District of Columbia, which, if any of you have any intelligence or teachings at all, will know that it's a country in its own right. It's not a state. It's not part of Washington, D.C., District of Columbia. I could tell you 2 more, unless you wait a while. We'll walk back in there. Anybody got an idea who the other 2 are? No? Come on. It's 2024. 21st century. Y'all don't know? Well, let's see. For religion, who would that be? Now you can guess, right? The Vatican. They're their own country. It's like 12 miles. I've been there. Took my kid there to be baptized. That's right. He was born in Heidelberg. I am an Army veteran. I was in the first company of women to train with the men and not go to WAC Corps. Had been disbanded. So, yeah, I get a little hot under the collar because I'm 64 years old and they won't let me have a weapon other than the couple of ones I got. And maybe a little ammo. They're certainly not going to let me go to Israel because I start popping people. I don't know what gives any country, let alone mine, the right to say, hey, do this, do that, do this, do that. What the hell do you get off on? You just come out of 2 wars in 2 countries, Iraq and Iran, as I said a few minutes ago. You were expressly forbidden to go to Iraq, as a matter of fact, and you made up WFD, weapons of mass destruction. Nothing was ever found. You found the guy picking out nits out of his beard, and you hung him. Well, Daddy put him in there. President Bush. When the former President Bush, Daddy, was the director of the CIA. Anybody do any homework around here? Show of hands. Yeah. He put Saddam Hussein in power in Iraq and then became president. And then his son did. Uh-huh. Yeah. You need to check some history, people. At least you by now have at least determined or ascertained that there are no news programs. They're all completely controlled. They're all political talking heads in South politics. If you want to see something, look on YouTube. You'll find IDF. You'll find the German one. There's an Australian one, Sky News. There are several very worthy news organizations out here, but they're not American. And you're not going to find a damn thing on American, not on a local, what they call news, or a national, what they call news. You're not going to find nothing on it. When an entire volcano explodes violently in Reykjavik, which is the capital of Iceland. Iceland, little bitty island, really cold. Yeah, that one. Did it make the news? Not on American so-called news. The little political news channels. Yeah, that's what they are really. And of course, why would they bother with that? They're still busy hiding Hunter Biden's laptop. So, yeah, squirming their way out of getting all 4 members of our embassy murdered, filmed in Benghazi. And the only thing that happened to our secretary, Miss Hillary, and I use that term loosely, what does it matter anyway? It matters because 4 men were killed and it was your watch and you told nobody to move. You told them to stand down. You told them to stand down for hours because it was testified to in Congress. I watched it. Yeah, There's actual records flaming around out there somewhere, if you look. Not to mention all the stuff you set Trump up with. Hmm? You got to impeach him not once, not twice, but 4 times. Never worked. So he's running again because you stole the election because they're still finding dumpsters full of ballots in Georgia. I've seen them. That's for real. Okay. So those ballots, of course, didn't get counted. And that was supposedly what he was asking of the governor was where these ballots were. He went around about it the wrong way, but Trump doesn't have any filters. He didn't need any. They had dropped our deficit. And of course, they went stupid when he said he'd like to take wage tax off for a couple of years so that regular taxpayers could get a break and maybe get caught up and so forth because of the pandemic. Are you kidding me? The entire Senate fell out. It was like somebody went through with an atomic weapon or threatened to. Started this channel, and I still keep this channel as Social Woodstock. I have a live chat. If you have a problem, if you want to discuss it, you want to debate it, you want to tell me I'm wrong, please do. Hit the comments. I dare you. I dare you. I want you to tell me where I'm wrong. I want you to show me where any of this is right. Show me. I dare you. Be it a parent, faculty member, student. Show me. Come on. And why is only one opinion, yours, worth anything? Why is somebody else's talking as a racist? How could you call them racist? You don't know. They didn't call you a racist, and you are. Totally. I mean, you're flying the flag of racism. Do you know who the first terrorists were? Anybody? Do you know when they first made a move and had and did a terrorist act? Oh wait, show of hands. Anybody? That'd be the Palestinian Liberalization Program operation, something to that effect. But it's PLO, Palestinians. And then I'm so mad I could just spit. And they hit the Olympics in '72 and killed the entire Jewish race team. No racism there. 1,500 are dead in one day. Not one of them a military combatant. Nobody had done anything to them. Nothing. The hostages that they took, over half are dead. The rest they don't know about. Men, women, kids, those they didn't rape, and then shoot their faces off. And this is why the Israelis don't come forward and say more about what happened, because it was so horrific. They can't tell people. They can barely comprehend it themselves. And why is this country saying to another country that's getting 350 bombs in one night from Iran, who's been taking care of Hamas? And I mean, they have found so much money and weapons and so forth. Look in the hospital, you'll find them, and they're in the CAT scan room. Yeah, who's in that ambulance? Is it that 14-year-old girl they're saying you guys got killed? No, there's 15 terrorists packed in the back with rocket launchers and whatever else, That's who's using the ambulances. That's not for people. They don't care about their people. You seem to care about their people, but they don't. Their people actually had hostages that escaped. And they went to the civilians in Palestine for help because they used to work across there. Some people knew some of the Palestinians. They ran to their homes for help. Yeah, you see what help they got right. You know what help they got right. Yeah, you do. You do. You don't know? No. Show hands. Yeah. They took them back to the terrorists who probably shot them or maybe lopped off their heads. They like heads cutting. Yeah. I don't see how any faculty member, especially president or whatever, can even hold their head up right now. I don't see how one parent of these protesting little twits can keep their head up and write another check. Shame. The shame you brought on our country is almost indescribable. Stop it. And if they don't stop it, let's speak out against it, and maybe we can stop it. I mean, the View is, that show, The View. I every once in a while look in just to see how many more people they say are racist. Everybody's racist except for, Whoopi Goldberg and, old Joy Behar. Yeah. too old to act. What is she, 25? And yeah, going on 92. Yeah, it shows. Camera shows everything. I don't like ugly. God don't like ugly. Knock it off. Do something about this situation and do it now. I don't want to see this again next week. If this isn't done by then, every state should be taking the parents and hitting them real hard in the wallets. And my God, would that stop them in their tracks? But there's not being done. Instead, the police are out there with riot gear trying to break it up, so forth and so on. And they're the bad guys again. Yeah, yeah. The rest of us are racist because we're going, huh? Huh? What? What do you mean genocide against the Jewish race? No, no, we're not going to do that. No, no. Really? Not one parent has said, you did what today? Hmm? And the Israeli students have to walk through this, and they can't because they know who are the Israeli students. So we're going to wake up tomorrow and find out they've all been massacred in 5 different universities and college campuses because it's what they're telling them. That's exactly what they're telling them. We'll kill you. Isn't that something for America to be proud of? Shame. Shame on every agency that's law abiding because you're standing back while evil flourishes in my country. You won't have a country if you continue to do this. This is going to make 9/11 the next attack that's coming because they all hear you invited them. You traitorous, treasonous piece of worthless. I can't apply the word president to who this person is. No, president of what? Destroy my country? Well, then you can give him that title. Yeah. And y'all know I'm right. There's not one baby boomer or one hippie out there that is standing up on any social media because I've looked. I ain't seeing them on Joe because y'all afraid. Y'all afraid they're going to call you racist because you got the right to stand up and say your opinion just like they do. It is still America. Get up here. I dare you. I dare every blooming one of you, both sides. Get up here in my comments and talk to me. I dare you. We want to know what the hell's going on. We want to know why all these people are stupidly crazy and their parents and the faculty. I mean, it's like somebody caught a virus and it's a pandemic of stupid. Unfortunately, stupid is getting people killed. Not them. No, just the Israelis. You know, that little bitty country, you know, with the other country the size of like us is sending 350 missiles into. Irregardless of what happened on October 7th, which people seem to have no problem with because they've been abusing Palestine for so many years. Idiots. And you call yourselves educators? You call yourself parents? You call yourself students? You're trash. Every bloody one of you. You wouldn't know a student if it walked up and spit in your face. You parents. This is what you're raising? This is what you want your kid to be? A racist, murderous piece of crap. Because that's what they are right now. And if you don't think so, please come talk to me. Make me believe what you do. Make me believe that genocide's okay. We've had plenty of time. What, it's been 75 years since the last one? We can go for it again. Idiots. And that's saying it lightly. It's just, ugh. I wasn't up here yesterday. Had a long day. Having another long day. Yeah, I do tend to get on a soapbox because I don't understand where everybody is. I don't understand any of this. I would like to. That's why I said, come on. Social Woodstock. We don't shoot you. We don't put bad stuff out about you. You're doing a great job of that yourself. No, we don't have to show you're stupid. You're doing that on your own. Not only are you stupid, but you're dangerous. You're so dangerous that you should be put like on death row. Dangerous. Now, I could sit on The View and say that while they started screaming racist at me, but I ain't never seen a whole group of racists on TV for so long in my entire life until The View. You talk about racist. If you don't agree with their opinion, you're a racist. Well, screw you. Color me purple. I don't give a good God grief what you are. But what you are is telling somebody else how they have to act and how they have to believe. But you have free speech. Well, get off. Horse hockey, even. Anybody with half a brain could take you people on. That poor young boy's been trying to set the record straight, and he's the only one. This country ain't that damn small. Are all of you this afraid in America to stand up and say nothing? You're not going to say anything. Palestinians were the first terrorists, for God's sakes. The first. Oh, yeah, y'all had a problem with ISIS. I don't know what undercover that was all about, For one, ISIS, from what I saw, didn't exist until they started saying, we're coming in at 9 o'clock on Friday, the September 19th. I mean, they actually gave them time and date on the first Gulf War. And they had supposed the reason then, because they were attacking the oil fields. God knows we can't have that. We had plenty of oil reserve until this pig that somebody says is running as country as president, which I can hardly spit out. Yeah. How many more people do you want to see squatting in New York and defecating on the sidewalks and smashing, grabbing until there is no stores in your state? 3/4 of the people with any money have left New York. And if they had any sense, every damn one of y'all would leave. Have you looked at San Francisco? I'm loving that. That sanctuary city worked out so well. We called it Civil War back in the day. They call it Sanctuary City today. Still seceding from the state, from their own states. And then they're going to whine and cry because there's some smash and grab. You created this shit. You created it. If it was 1850, y'all would be hanging on a tree. Y'all wouldn't be hanging around in the Rose Garden. You would be hanging from it. Look it up. Look up what is the punishment for treason. Look up what the punishment is for traitor. Because that's what y'all are. All of you. Faculty, parents, down to what they call students. If they had a damn brain cell to put together, they wouldn't be in that mess. And I've seen the teachers being arrested. So they're just as stupid as them. So they obviously taught them this crap. These kids think this is, they have to say the Palestinians. Now, for God's sake. Gaza is, I believe, actually bigger than Israel. Israel gives them free power, free water. UNRWA gave them free everything else, except that they were actually taking care of the terrorists, but nobody noticed, Yeah, then we noticed, but it's okay. Send your faith money to the terrorists in Palestine. No, y'all are worried about those civilians in Gaza. What about those 5 battalions left of the terrorists that attacked them? What about the 350 bombs that fell? Nobody got a problem with that? Oh, yeah. So there's a lot of evil people standing by, aren't you? Because when good people sit still and don't even open their mouths, evil flourishes. So you sit there on your little thrones and keep your silly mouth shut while they start throwing the terrorist up your ass. And then don't come to me whining about it, because we done told you for 24 or 5 years now that 9/11 was going to be made to look like a picnic. Y'all ain't listened. You let 11 million of them in. I just saw then that they had some Chinese guys on the ground. They're coming from the entire planet because it's a free country here and people give them free food and they put them in hotels. Have you seen the protest because they made them get out of a hotel after 6 months? Free. They got them phones. They wearing that Nike shit. Yeah. Rest of them working 2 jobs. And then when they get their retirement pay, they're told, well, you can live on $600 a month. Honey, if you can find $600 a month for rent, I will move. It's just ridiculous. At what point do Americans get embarrassed, get angry? When? If these rotten kids can come out and do all this crap, why can't the parents stop it? Why can't the faculty stop it? You have riot police. It took hours to get it under control as more people came from God knows where. It's not America anymore, people. It's not the United States. It stopped being the United States when they created sanctuary cities. And now all they have are hobos. It's a good word for my age group. Yeah, the smash and grabbers. And then they go back to wherever their tent is and they sell it. Whatever they grabbed out of Walmart, whatever they grabbed out of Walgreens, whatever they got out of Target, they go back in front of their tent and sell that shit. Well, now capitalism at its finest, isn't it? Don't you just love your governors? How hard is it to get to a supermarket in San Francisco now? Huh? Do you have to wear big high boots so you can walk through the human feces on the sidewalk? Don't take your kids because they're out there doing drugs. They're out there pissing. They're out there crapping in public. Plain view. I've seen footage of it. A guy went through several of them. They're all doing it. What? Nobody says anything? Okay. Well, maybe there'll be a record that a couple of us said, what the hell? I don't know. I've been asking one of y'all tell me I ain't seen anybody yet with any courage enough to do so. It looks like if you're wanting to have an intelligent conversation where both sides are allowed their own opinion and, of course, freedom of religion, but you're racist if you're not what they want you to be, and if you don't say what they want you to say. So where the hell is free speech? What is going on in America? I need the hippies back. I want you guys to get up here and talk to me. I want you to tell me what you're seeing. I'm not nuts, and I'm not afraid. Because it's it's past that. You can't do, there's no afraid now. Even the police are telling you to keep yourselves armed. Go and take concealed carry courses. Buy a weapon because we're not coming. Seattle, San Francisco, flat out told you to get your own weapons because you're on your own. We're not coming. I don't know how anybody missed that. You know? But you got to call 911. 911. You told them they don't need police. So you don't need 911. Are they breaking into your house? Sure as shit they are. They got stuff in there they can grab and sell. What's the matter? Do you need police now? Well, you shouldn't have shot so many. Maybe you shouldn't have seceded from your state and country, because I don't give a shit what you call a sanctuary city. I don't give a crap. Look up the description of what secession is. Huh? It's who's fighting it? Who's trying to put a civil war here on us? Well, you got all this racism shit. So if you disagree, you're racist. Screw you. I dare you. Come talk to me. You provide me with the information to believe what you're saying, and I'll show you every damn thing you're wrong on. So any one of you out there got some guts, maybe a little glory, pop on in here. I ain't seen it yet. I hesitate to think I ever will. And that's more than a little sad. That means my country has gone. That there is no America, there is no United States. If I don't even get one reply from this tirade that I've carried on, then the United States is no longer the United States. America died decades ago. And nobody went to the funeral. Huh? What you think? Hey, Joe Rogan, send a clip of this out and see what happens. Let's find out if anybody's got it. Hey, Casper site, why don't you do a clip on this? Let's see what anybody says about that. Anybody of you guys got some sense? Joe Rogan, I think you're a smart man. I've seen you go ahead. You ain't got no fear. Huh? I hope one of you I hope somebody out there runs across this that has enough balls to give it to Joe Rogan, because Joe can run with it. I'd be happy to talk to any of you. But somebody needs to stand up and talk. Y'all can't keep doing the same thing. Y'all can't keep turning your back. The only thing that happens when you turn your back is evil happens faster. Huh? What you gonna do when it's your kid that they're burning alive in your oven while they got you tied up listening? Hmm? What if it's your daughter that goes to a concert and sending you live footage of her being gang raped and then shot till her face disappeared? What would you do there if it was you? Huh? Have nobody out there had said, but for the grace of God, go I? Won't even go into the Good Samaritan thing. Oh, y'all say you're religious? What religion? Even Muslims don't even say this is right. Ask them. Nobody says this is right, except, well, there's a guy they call president. I don't know why they're calling him president, because he's not. He's one of the most treasonous, traitorous persons I've ever seen. And that's because I missed World War II. For me, he stands like Hitler, Biden. Hitler, Biden. Look it the hell up. You don't get it then? You send me a comment. I'll look it up and post it so you can pull the string. I'll drop it. I'll even drop a video if you want. Google has everything. Everything. Tell me something, America. Show of hands when I ask this question. Who elects the United States president? Who elects him? Show of hands? All the people? Really? You think that? Take your phone out and Google that. And here's what Google says. The Electoral College elects the United States president. Now, when does the college vote? The Electoral College. Do they vote before the November 4th election that you vote in? You bet your sweet bippies they do. So who is hiring, as far as I'm concerned, because it's not voted in? This is a dictatorship, people. This isn't a free run country. Not at all. And hasn't been for decades upon decades. If an electoral college votes in your president, and since they're doing it in your name and you can't find anybody in 100,000 people that voted that way, then maybe they are not concerned about what you want as a president. And they're sure as hell scared of Trump. And that man did a good job. They needed a businessman in there, and they need him again. Because apparently, all of us could work 3 jobs and pay for our educations. These guys don't have to. So what do you think everybody from every country on the planet is running over here? Free shit. And they've said it. They're trying to go to court on it. Well, I've got squatters' rights. They'll come out and get in the cops' faces. Actually shoving cops and stuff. Because their countries were a whole lot different. Because their police forces were scared stupid because they had roaming bands of murderers coming around to take care of them if they didn't fly right. And they're doing that now in America. So if y'all want to sit back and not talk about it, then I'm sorry for my generation. And I'm ashamed of my generation for not doing so. I'm not going to sit back and say, oh, it's no big thing. I won't tell the truth. And I thought, I really did think, and I may be wrong at this point, to see that social Woodstock isn't working, because it looks like people are too intimidated, too afraid to say boo. They're too afraid to say the truth. And again, whoever's out there running stuff, I dare you to show Rogan this. Joe Rogan is fearless, and he's on the side of truth and justice. And he knows what's going on is wrong. I have to check and see. I don't think he's really covered it, because I think even he thinks he'll get flyback. Because you're not free. You don't vote in who the president is. So it looks like this has been my podcast for the day. I think for the rest of the day with it storming here, I'm going to find some comedy, sit down and finally make a drink and pretend I'm not an American, because it's too ashamed to be an American at this point. It's just overwhelmingly shameful. It's the only word I can think of, and it's an understatement. It's way way past an understatement. Stand up, people. If nothing else, go back and look at how the Nazis grew from 39, we'll even go 37, to Kristallnacht. And I'm not going to give you the date on that because you should know it. They at least have that in the school books. You get people walking around there, they're supposed to be yo kids out there saying, oh, the Holocaust didn't happen. The hell it didn't. Go to Auschwitz. Look at the human fat in the ovens. Didn't happen, though? The Germans took excellent records. Excellent records. They knew how many people they had gassed and burned. 6 million. Excellent records. They showed them shooting them, made them take their clothes off first. Well, you could have shot me anyway you was going to. I would have cut my clothes off. Screw you. I'd have run at your ass. They had maybe 10 guys out there with weapons, and they're killing thousands a day. What the hell did you have to lose? Rust them and put that gun up their ying, and they'd have quit that crap. But no, I watched his mothers holding children naked. I watched as their sons over and over and over. And then when that trench was full, the other ones dig their own grave again. Mass graves everywhere. Russians, they killed Russians the same way. They killed the Americans the same way, to the point where we couldn't even take prisoners in World War II. There was nowhere to put them. There was nothing. Berlin was rubble. If they had a lot bigger than this, they were lucky in Berlin. And that was before the East-West side messed that all up. Yeah, it happened. And nobody has the right to tell anybody in my country how to live, how to worship, what to do, who to believe in. That's why we call it a free country. And this is also why I say it's not a free country. I don't get to vote anybody in. I don't get to vote, hey, that $1 billion is to go where you took it back out of Social Security because you done denied 50 years you done took it from my check. I didn't get it. 50 years you took unemployment for my check. I never touched a penny. Didn't get none of it. Isn't that theft? You're damn right it's theft. That's government sanctioned theft. Where are the Black Hawk helicopters? I don't know, but I could use lunch. I mean, it's ridiculous. You have plenty of powerful celebrities that want to run their mouth about the Palestinian side and how bad it is that they're all being just wiped out. Really? Well, maybe Iran and them should stop doing that, and they wouldn't have to go for the 5 battalions that are in Rafah, because that's the only place that's left for them. They had to get them. You can't leave an enemy on your 6 like that, and anybody out there worth 2 cents knows it. You can't do it. Even still, this won't stop it, because their kids are already trained, and their kids are going to be trained next. This will not go away. It won't go away. And by the way, they're not just wanting to kill the Jews. Look up the word infidel. They want a global jihad because the rest of us are infidels and we have to be killed because we're not Muslim. So what do you think they're going to chop? Even if they get rid of every Israelite. Huh? Who's next? Anybody? Nobody knows. Do they even know what the word infidel means? Do they know they're infidels? Well, maybe they should look up the definition. Better than that, ask one of them Palestinian women wearing all them headscarves and shit. They'll tell you. Yeah. You wear this big black shapeless thing, or they shoot you after they gang rape you in prison. That's the Middle East. That's what they're defending. They're defending them killing in horrific ways 1,500 people. How can you defend that? But they're still managing. I guess if you lie like a rug, you can protest anything in an American university. Not in mine if I were there. If I was president of that university, oh my God. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Them wallets would have been out, and those students would no longer have been there, and I'd press the charges against them and their parents. I'd make bloody sure of it. And if I was a governor of a state, or a mayor of that city, I would do the same bloody thing. I would stop it, and I would make them pay for what they're doing. They are trying to acknowledge genocide as not being real. They're not students. They're terrorists. They're traitors to their country. Show me where they're not. I dare you. Come on. It's open. Live stream. It's open. Comments is open after that. I didn't see anybody say anything about it yet. Everybody's too afraid. Yeah. So what's next for these Israeli students? You're going to pass out yellow stars? Get some cattle cars? What? What you afraid of, people? What are my hippie friends afraid of? What are my hippies afraid of? What is the baby boomers afraid of? What is any American afraid of? Use this medium because they are. They are. Are we going to keep turning our freaking backs, but while running our mouths, telling those who are being attacked and have been attacked horrifically to do nothing more because, well, a couple of apartment buildings might be a little bit damaged. Couldn't get a grip. Shouldn't be a damn rock left standing in Gaza or Iran at this rate, at the rate they're going. Nobody seems to get it. Get your maps out, take a look. Look at the Gaza Strip and look at what Israel holds. And mind you, Israel has been defending the Golden Dome for, I think, what was it, the 60-some-odd war, the 6-Day War, when they won Jerusalem. They didn't have Jerusalem when they began back and they were the state of Israel again. They didn't have Jerusalem. When they were attacked by 5 countries and they beat them with no help from anybody else, mind you. No help from any other country, nation, nothing. Just them and 5 countries that are huge, including Egypt. And they won. And that's when the city of Jerusalem came back into the hands of the Israelites. And they have protected it since then. So it's, from what I understand of what I can remember, they've had it 60 years at least or more and have defended it and made sure nobody blew it up. Because there was a lot of people who wanted to blow it up. And they're still protecting it. But that's not being said. They're not saying anything about that. They're not saying, oh, well, you killed, 1,600 people and took 300 hostage and sent 350 missiles over in one night. They're not saying all that. No. You killed a Palestinian baby. I don't want to see a body bag of the size of a baby either. I don't want to see any body bags. But if you don't do something, they'll die. This is against countries that are almost our size. They have no right to do this. And you have no right as an American citizen to sit there and go, good for you. Showing your ignorance over and over and over, a little on the ignorance of the faculty. And God, don't get me started on the ignorance of the parents. My kids wouldn't have dared it. Their kids wouldn't have dared it. My grandson, I have a 25-year-old grandson, Army already, and he's now a veteran. And he was thinking about going. I asked him not to. I'm trying to find us a voice here. Social Woodstock is peace. But it should be everybody has the same rights. If you're free to push your religion, then I'm not free to enjoy my religion. So therefore, there is no freedom of religion left in America, because that's what happens. If you go and say, this is wrong, you're a racist. Screw you. Show me where I'm a racist. I mean, screw you. I don't give a good gracious what you think. Because I don't think you have 2 cents up in there. I really believe that you could not polish your boots with the directions wrote on the heel. I'm telling you, you couldn't do it. So why aren't you ashamed? Why aren't you standing up? Why ain't anybody standing up saying nothing? I'm a little disappointed in quite a few of the major population podcasts that we have in America. They're not saying blooming anything, or they're saying, oh, they did it again. Where's the outrage? Where's the people? Where's our voices? Really, are the hippies this dead? Because I'm only 64. So I didn't think that all the people in the 60-year range were dead. I do wish somebody would show me and prove me right and that they're not dead and stand up here and talk to me. Nobody's got any guts anymore. You're all afraid of everything. Y'all afraid of your American government? That's good. You should be, by the way. Anybody else that has not seen Waco, yeah, watched it. The movie was pretty darn close. I'll tell you, I was in Texas. Those guys called 911 until they cut their phone lines. Those were women and children they were just murdering, slaughtering wholesale. That's okay. They had guns, weapons. We had to stop them. It was a cult. Janet Reno should have been run out of tarred and feathered. But she did stop after that and at least resigned. Nothing was ever done about the fact that all those people died. Think about it. Look it up. There's another one y'all need to really look up, and this has been before my day. Look up Kent State and tell me this government won't shoot you right in the face, because they sure as hell will. Been done before. And you think the riot gear and cops out there with police shields was enough? Not a chance. It's never going to be enough. But I'll get off here today. I'll take my disappointment with me. But my dare still stands. And I dare Joe Rogan to get in touch with me as well. I dare any of you to either stand with me or show me why you don't. It's a lot of people in America. We added another 11 million. And my voice is going, so I do wish y'all would think about this and stand up. Just stand up, at least, and add your voice to the fact that this is so wrong that there's no name or way to describe what's been happening here. But shame. Shame on all of you. This is part of history now. It's part of history. So this shame won't go away, America, if we still have an America. First time I heard Sanctuary City, I said, that's secession. That's the start of Civil War. They're pushing it. You're going to still keep your mouth shut? I ain't seen a hippie yet that was afraid of opening their mouth and talking. And yet I don't have you here. This is Saturday, so I'm hoping, since I came in a little later today, that maybe y'all will see this. If you see it, I dare you. Leave a comment. I double dare you. Take me on a debate. Show me. Why don't you, whatever you call yourself, you're those little terrorists at these universities. Why don't you little terrorists? You think you're right? Come talk to me. Huh? You terrorist wannabe. Come talk to me. Change my mind. Cowards. Every one of you. Cowards. Shameful. And I've devoted an entire double podcast nearly to just this stupidity. I would like to think that there are still people in America that are not afraid to at least stand up and exercise their right to say the truth. In this particular case, there are not two truths. There's one. They're blooming wrong. And if you can prove me different, bring it. Until then, toodles.